Haven't seen a night like this in a while, says Batman. Last time it was this bad was with that damn fear gas. Only so much I can do to prioritize. Hunt the big fish. Protect the little fish. These places all have insurance. It is not my job to protect their profit margins. In my father's day, the American dream used to mean something. An honest wage for honest work. Food on the table, liberty and justice for all. Now it is an illusion, a carrot on a stick. Attainable by a few, dangled just out of reach for everyone else. A bigger TV, a faster car, shiny objects to keep the masses distracted while the world around them burns. You want to blame them for grabbing the carrot? When the lights go out, then go ahead. But don't look to me to stop them. That is not why I do this, says the man who actually had his parents killed during a mugging. Now, in this comic, the story is that there is a blackout within Gotham. And you have riots going out. And Batman is prioritizing the big fish. In other words, he is going after the Joker, the Penguin, and doesn't have the time to stop the mob from robbing the stores. And he is doing triage. Which, by the way, would make for an interesting story if it wasn't for Batman's introspection. The justification for why he is doing this makes absolutely no sense. Unless you realize that this is actually written by a human being, which is injecting his real-life politics into the story with the goal of influencing teenagers to have this poisonous mindset with which a society can't even function. So what am I talking about this? Well, clearly, if you go on the Twitter of the author of this comic, you will notice that he is a very progressive, far-left individual, borderline communist, some would say, who is referencing the 2020 riots in the United States. You know, those ones that caused billions of dollars in damages. And he is trying to justify that the rioters are actually the good guys, that they are just victims of society. And when you think that the criminals are a victim of society, then it's inevitable that society is going to become the victim of criminals. So let's see what's wrong with this argument. Well, first of all, the concept that these stores have insurance. That doesn't really work like that in reality, but this is what the author wants the teenagers who read this comic to believe. It's okay to see a store being vandalized because they have insurance. So it's okay for these people to take the ultra high definition television because the stores have insurance. In reality, insurance doesn't cover riots. I am unaware of any insurance company that covers riots. Please let me know if I am wrong. I would really change my mind if I see this in the comment section. But almost all insurance companies do not cover riots. Secondly, let's imagine that I have my own store called Trollbridge Industries, which operates in Ghettoville. And my store hires 20 people. 20 people are now dependent on me so that they can put food on the table. Because those people have jobs, they can now get loans and they can try to better their life to get that carrot that Batman is talking about. Now let's say my store does burn down. And I do have insurance. Do you think I will rebuild the store in Ghettoville knowing that it can burn down a second time? Or am I going to build it in suburban land? I think I might build it in suburban land so I don't have to deal with this shit. Especially when I notice that the cops and the authorities don't do anything when my store burned down. And I am paying taxes. That upsets me a little bit. So when I do that, all of a sudden, all those 20 people that were dependent on me and they have loans, what do you think happens to them? Because it's not just my store that's going to move. It's pretty much all the other stores that are going to be like, fuck this community. These are a group of people that do not respect law and order, do not deserve my business. And it's with this mentality why you see certain neighborhoods becoming poorer. Simply because there are no more jobs to be found. Because all of the small stores are moving away from the area. By the way, Jeff Bezos doesn't have to deal with this shit. The rich don't have to deal with this shit. Batman doesn't have to deal with this shit. In fact, when they came for Batman's home, he didn't have the same mentality. He didn't say, oh, well, I'm not going to stop them because I have insurance. Honestly, like, this mentality is the most bizarre. It's like Batman finding a woman about to get mugged by 5 guys and say, well, she's got medical insurance. She's going to be fine. Isn't that the same logic, though? Is it not the same logic? Like, oh, well, I have bigger fish to fry. I see this crime happening right in front of me, but I don't care because, well, they probably have medical insurance. They probably have public health. If Batman is in Europe and he sees a woman about to get mugged, he can say, well, she's got public health. Now, there's another problem, which you may notice. Unlike the 2020 riots in the US, we notice a massive lack of diversity within this crowd. Again, showing the author's politics. I guess the author wants to say that all of these people are Antifa because of the huge lack of diversity, right? I am willing to bet that this was on purpose. I am willing to bet that the skin color of the characters involved here was on purpose. Because if they had a single person of color within this crowd, you would notice the Twitter mob freak the fuck out. Finally, there's a very interesting video, which I would recommend people to watch. A video made by Thomas Sowell, who points out that a lot of left-leaning academics and journalists call out the fact that in impoverished neighborhoods, the price of goods is a lot higher than the exact same goods found in richer neighborhoods. And they also point out that the overwhelming amount of store owners in these impoverished neighborhoods are white, so therefore it's racist. Like, the white man is profiting off the suffering of black people in the United States. And Thomas Sowell points out, like, look, why do you think that black business owners wouldn't want to open businesses in impoverished neighborhoods if they can make more money? And when he gets down to it, again, watch his video, it's very interesting. When he gets down to it, he points out that the cost of doing business in these neighborhoods where riots are accepted, where the cops don't do anything when this happens, is a lot higher than the cost of doing business in rich neighborhoods. So therefore, the prices go up for the extra security, but as well as for the fact that in the case that the store goes down, the store owner has a bank account set on the side to cover all of this shit. So this is why, like, doing riots is incredibly bad for the community that actually lives there. It's not bad for the community of rich people that happen to live somewhere else in the suburbs, or the politicians that have their own houses in other neighborhoods. No, it's literally bad for the people that happen to live here. And them getting an ultra high definition TV is not going to make for the losses that the community has when the effects of this finally kick in. And by the way, many times the people that do get the ultra high definition TVs, yeah, they're not even the same ones that live in this community. So this is why, like, if you actually watch the aftermath of the riot, you will see, well, they came from different communities and they did all of this. And furthermore, it's the fires, right? Like, the fires in this situation, you see Batman running away while a fire is taking down an apartment building. Like, does he even know if there's people inside? Does he even care about any of this? Well, why do you have to set fire to the thing is why I don't understand. It's like, okay, it's one thing to just be like, oh, well, there's no one watching. We can get a ultra high definition TV versus let's set fire to the place. Like, the people owning the businesses here aren't the ones that are hurting the neighborhood. So this is the politics. This is the ideology that the writer of this comic wants teenagers to think it's okay. They want teenagers to think, yeah, well, if you see someone robbing a store, it's justified at the end of the day because, you know, the store has insurance. So don't call it out. Don't do anything about it. Don't blame the politicians for telling the police to stand back. Don't try to stop and prevent this because, you know, even Batman wouldn't prevent it. And this is what people talk about when they say politics in comics are cancer. I don't agree with this mentality. I wouldn't want my kids to be born thinking that this is okay. This is 100% not okay. I'm willing to bet that black people don't think this is okay happening in their neighborhood. So why would you buy this comic? Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.